What comes up for me is like the fear or love.
Yeah.
And so if I'm rested and feeling supported, I'm more likely to make a decision that's more in alignment with love versus one that's a little bit more fear-based. And embracing that support too. So it's like I feel like I can make a more grounded decision from that space.
When we're making decisions out of fear, right?
Like
when we're reaching to
clingy,
clutch and cling to something. I always tell my clients, I'm like, guys, it is not going to be shamed in this space because a littler version of you did that to remain safe and it worked really well. But when we start to see that those same safety-seeking behaviors no longer have a positive impact, well, then that's interesting. Then we can look at the overwhelming sensations our bodies experience. Some call it flooding, some call it fear. When we're triggered by something, whether it's somebody not texting us back, whether
I've had that recently.
I know. Okay.
A couple weeks ago.
Like the same thing happens, right? It's like, wow, I've felt this before.
Yeah.
And it is usually a triggering of a much deeper, more precious source wound.
Oh yeah. She's about this high, your home haircut.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Like,
so
what do you need,
when we
little
can
girl?
love her, right? And we
Little
can
Tommy.
yes. And when she is able to be seen and we're able to say, hey, that choice you made to reach out and clutch something or to run away before was really smart. It's really
It served you. It helped you. Yeah.
And we're proud of you. Now let's see what we can do going forwards. And is that having a negative impact? And how can I meet your needs? Right? How right now can you and I together, sweet one, your needs instead of making this casual lover or this other person? And it's interesting because it is before I learned this from 𝐘𝐽 Tom and others, I was feeling it and experiencing it in casual sexual relationships. I was going, okay, the sex was fine, but now my heart is longing for something more. Now I'm on that basement apartment floor with my rat dying in the wall and freezing, going, okay, is this all? Like, is sex everything? And it's so funny. It's now become a catchphrase of mine that I say, sex is not everything. It's just a part of everything. And when information about our bodies and the bodies of others and how we function has been willfully withheld from us, it can be dangerous. It really can. And as much as I do love, I am a pleasure preacher, it's not everything. We're not all having sex all day, every day, but it's just a part of it.
Yeah, I definitely have vacillated between, I'm like, am I more monogamy? Am I poly? Am I open? Like trying to find, or my identity or giving self, in some ways. And I think the piece for me that was missing for so many years is like the sacredness of it and treating it or being present or with intention versus, I know I tried the pendulum swing of the seeking the love, acceptance, validation through all of those different romantic relationships or substances or, whatever. But then I also swung back to the spiritual mediums and, all the things, right? I don't even know where I was going with that. But
we get to, I think that's such a beautiful, in so many systems, right? We can be told what to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, do this. This is best. And sure, okay, for some people that works out fine. Yeah. But I think for those of us, and you had said this before we went on air, and I thought it was really cool and I wanted to talk about it, I didn't question the system for forever. Right? I didn't rebel. I didn't say, no, I want to do this my own way. And it's funny because it still didn't turn out well for me. Funny part of the story that we didn't really throw in there. Oh, yeah, let's throw it in. Is that 2-ish years after my divorce was final, my ex-husband texts me one night and says, hey, I just want you to know before I post about it in the morning, I've met someone and I'm in a beautiful, healthy, loving relationship with a man.
Wow. Yeah.
And I said, that is amazing. I cannot
No wonder you laughed at me in that lingerie.
Not wait to celebrate you. This makes a lot of sense.
Did you want to borrow it?
Thank you.
No, I'm kidding. No.
Thank you. Will you come over to my now house and to the backyard tomorrow? And before you post, will you let me rage at you? Because I think we will be skipping a step if we go right to celebrating you because we didn't believe women. Right? You told everyone that I was lying. You told everyone that I was a harlot gone rogue. And I want you to come over into the backyard and I want to rage at you. Not for right now. I love you. You're awesome. I'm so happy for your partner. Can't wait to meet him.
Yeah.
I need you to come over for Lauren a couple of years ago.
Wow.
And I need you to stand there and I need to rage. And he was like, that sounds incredible. coming over.
Powerful and good for you
So beautiful.
expressing that.
It was wild.
Like, what a model. I know you mentioned you have a child too.
Yeah, I
Like,
do.
what a beautiful model that you're, gifting your daughter.
Thank you. It's the coolest thing ever. And I think that so many of the narratives, again, that we're given are how harmful divorce is for children and this, that, and the other thing. And
I don't think so. I think that honoring yourself or finding your way is a better example than staying in something that's not working out. And when you can sense and feel it, and you're modeling a relationship that's maybe not connected or intimate or deep or vulnerable or, respectful, whatever it is,
Those
right?
things.
So,
Those things.
I mean, because I know a lot of people that are saying, they're like, oh, but our kids, I'm like, can I offer you an alternate perspective?
No,
because I think about like my relationship even with my stepdad, and if I had not witnessed that relationship with him, my mom, I would have probably not witnessed a loving, caring relationship. So I was gifted that through the divorce of my dad and my mom. So I'm curious. So he comes to the backyard and like, what did this rage? If you want to share, like
no
you
one
can
talks
always
about
say
it,
no,
so I
no.
would love to. No, it was beautiful. It's so funny. Used so much of the language and the verbiage we use when we were crafting a container to play sexually with someone, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, let me frame up this container for you. Let me tell you the beginning, middle, end. Let me share with you what I would like and would not like.
Yeah.
You don't need to respond to any of this. I don't have questions. I just would love to express rage. And so what I would love you to do, ex-husband, is stand there and play the role of husband before. And then I'll say like scene. I'll say done when we're done and we can be done and we can hug. If you have questions afterwards, you can feel free to ask them. But is that okay with you? Like getting consent before. I mean, seriously, it felt like giving clients tools to write a kink or BDSM
For
scene,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
This is how we'd frame it up because everybody gets to be consenting into this. Even as much rage as I have for that younger version of self, I didn't want to harm him now.
Yeah.
So then I just lit into him, especially about there was a lot of question of my integrity, of was I a liar? Was I bipolar? My father is bipolar. His father committed suicide from bipolar. Like mental illness is a serious, beautiful, grave thing. And this kind of just flippant, oh, she must be bipolar that went around was very harmful. And then there was just a lot of not believing me and a lot of saying that I was a liar and a harlot and I had gone rogue and that I had kind of tossed everything aside and making it look like I was like the woman, right? The wanton woman who had just left. And as much as I cheer for those women now, that was not the story.
Yeah.
That was not what was going on. And he let everyone believe that I was crazy. And so I just was very specific about this was not okay and this was not okay. And then once just kind of a few of them started rolling, a lot of them started rolling of it was not okay when you did this. It was not okay when you did this. This destroyed me when you did this. And then at the end I said, and I need you to pay your child support because you haven't been. And if you post this about your happy, wonderful life now, I will also be putting in the comments.
Amount owed.
Because I will be saying, I am so happy for you.
Too bad you can't go on a honeymoon out of the country because I'm
Send your child support.
No.
And he got to say, why is that so important to you? I don't understand. And I said, I think you need to understand that for a decade, I bore little to no importance to you because of the suppression of your orientation. And this is now an outward depiction, almost like a sacrament inside of religion, of you are honored. As the mother of my child, you are honored. And it is a small, small sum. And it's a token. It's a token for all of the years of damage you did to me. And he was like, I never thought of it like that. Thank you for saying that. I had never considered that this would be, in essence, like reparations of some kind towards the trauma I put you through. And then I did ask questions about, did you ever know, was this something? And no. And it's interesting because in school to become a certified holistic sexuality educator, such a mouthful, I did some of my research around, do folks ever suppress their orientation, especially their lesbian or gay orientation, due to religious orthodoxy, due to oppression, and of course. And so I really think it took kind of some years of getting out of that for that even to bubble up for him, the safety to do that.
Oh, to like own it for himself.
And to even consider that. I don't even think it had been a consideration. And so it was beautiful. It was really beautiful. And He got to say, I'm sorry, and big hugs. And we really have a thriving relationship now.
Beautiful.
Love him more than I ever have.
Beautiful. And I'm like, that is such a beautiful practice too. And I love like the setting of the scene of it. I'm like, yes, to the theater roots too.
Theater roots.
Yeah.
Made a scene.
I know. Is that a practice too that you offer or
it is.
suggest to your clients?
And I think what's so beautiful is once I was in the field of sexuality and intimacy and relationship coaching and all these things, I would just giggle to myself when we'd be taught an exercise because I'm like, that's an acting exercise.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm like, wow, okay. I'm like, okay, I was
So I was even with clients this morning doing an exercise and giggling to myself because they're like, my mind is blowing. And I'm thinking, we did this exact same thing inside of black box theaters as teens.
Yeah.
But understanding, yes, that there is so much freedom in, and that our nervous systems can't tell the difference, right? Our psyches don't know the difference when you give them a framework that they say, go loose, go wild, and then we're going to close the container and do some aftercare. They're like, oh, that felt good.
Yeah.
Right? They don't know the difference when we're playing a game about attachment styles. Dr. Betty Martin teaches a game where you go away and you come back. And you just do it with a partner. You tell them to go away. They go further away. You notice what's happening in your body.
I've done that at an ISTA before.
And then you come back and it's insane to watch avoidant, anxious, disorganized come up. But when you're getting to narrate it outside of a argument with a partner or a sexual encounter where all of a sudden your voice got frozen, it's so helpful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Rewrite the narrative.
It is.
And I feel like you could if that person isn't available or willing or consenting, I mean, you could sub in someone to play that role, right?
You can sub in a friend. You can sub in an educator or a coach.
Yeah.
You can sub in anyone who's really willing to play with you, which is also so beautiful because sometimes inside of a partnership, we don't even necessarily need to, quote unquote, burden a partner with something else. And maybe they're not available. And you're like, no, I want to work this out with somebody else. The nervous system doesn't know. That's what's so cool. So cool.
I know. I feel like that ties into so I've been because I've been weaving a lot of scripture with mysticism and it was going down Mary Magdalene rabbit holes and all of it. And then so it's also the body keeps a score and then rewriting that and just how important play is, but in using play for rewriting narratives.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you made me think of one of my favorite, who is Dr. Peter Levine, who wrote Waking the Tiger, which he and Bessel, who wrote The Body Keeps the Score, they're like buddies, okay? And so I think Waking the Tiger is such a perfect partner to The Body Keeps the Score because Waking the Tiger is very hopeful. And he introduces this incredible term, neoteny, this idea that we all possess the childlike capability to imagine and play.
Oh, it's my favorite. I'm like, thank you, limited resources childhood. Playing in my imagination.
And so that concept that we often inside of relationship containers reenact our trauma because our brain is awesome and it is trying to fix it. And it's like, I'll do better this time. And then we just do the same thing. And so he calls it the reenactment of trauma, which is really interesting because I live in Virginia and I live very close to the town Appomattox, which is where the Civil War ended.
Wow.
And every year, without fail, they dress up in their little Civil War reenactment costumes, and they go out to the battlefield and they reenact the end of the Civil War. And I hate to tell everybody, but the ending's always the same. It's always the same, okay? The South always loses. Slavery is always abolished, but they do this every year. And I like to tell myself and my clients, I'm like, that's what happens. When we reenact our trauma over and over again, the ending's always the same. So what Peter Levine taught me is this idea of, instead of reenacting, renegotiating our trauma through play.
I was just about to say, and I feel like play is more impactful or sticks easier or quicker than repeating an affirmation or humming somewhere. You know
I've
what
had
mean?
clients with crazy stories because we all have crazy stories. All of us. Okay, we all have them, my friends. We're not broken. We all have crazy stories. And sometimes, oftentimes, what we will see is because sex and the expression of our bodies is actually linked to this playful stuff, we will find, I feel, all of the fear come back up, all of the trauma come back up in sexual scenarios because it is so synonymous with the sacral and creativity and play and it's all together. So you will find folks have some real trauma that lives in their sexual expression. And they're like, what do I do, Lauren? And I've said, okay, if you want to, we can rewrite the script. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, okay, we know, because my clients and I all do a personal sexual timeline. We go all from the way from back from the beginning to now. So we know the story. We're like, we know where this lives. So how do you want to change the ending? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, how do you want to change it? So we talk about how they want to change the ending, how they would have come out on top, how they would have been the victor in this scenario.
What they would have said, or yeah.
And then we talk about, okay, how could we create a playful scene that in some way mimics this? So I have one client who's given permission for this to be shared.
Okay, good.
Who developed this scenario. They wanted to have a daytime scene with their partner. Helps that they're both actors. It's really nice. And they wanted their partner to straddle them on the bed, fully clothed, and hold them down. Put their hands on their shoulders, wherein they could see a clock that they were going to let 20 seconds go by. But my client, the one on their back being held down, couldn't see it. Okay. And they wanted to, for 20 seconds only, struggle against their partner. Struggle, struggle, struggle. But then at 20 seconds, they wanted their partner to lessen the grip, and they wanted to push this person off of them. And they wanted to feel like they were doing a lot of work. So they really wanted to do the pushing. And they were like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to scream. I don't know if I'm going to cry, whatever. I want to push you off of me. I want to have my moment. And then I want to be held on my left side. I want to be nurturing breath meditation. Yeah. I want to be held. I have chocolate available, all of this stuff. And let's just breathe together and regulate. That was it. It wasn't really extensive. We involved the partner, got their full consent, let them ask questions, right? What are you afraid of? Peter Levine talks about this in his work, that it's very important that the person who is doing the scene work also knows that they're holding a container and that they might see fear on their partner's face. And there is a really good purpose for this exercise, but to know the difference between fear and terror, right? And that you can always call for a pause or a stop. Anything that you would do in a kinky space can be done here. So we set it up. The partners felt great. I was like, go. I give you all my blessing. Come back to session. Tell me how it went. She comes back to session, tears in her eyes, but just this like biggest smile. And I'm like, you want to tell me about it? She's like, oh yeah. Set it all up. Great, broad daylight, like nothing scary. And partner climbs on top. They set the timer. She's like, Lauren, it was literally like before this exercise began, it felt so stupid. I felt like, why am I doing this rinky-dinky exercise? This isn't going to do anything. And she said, the moment he started holding me down, my entire body was like, oh my God, and just started pushing and pushing and pushing. She said when she pushed him at 20 seconds, which she didn't know had been 20 seconds, this roar came out of her belly that went up from her belly, out her mouth, out her throat. She said, Lauren, I have never heard anything like this come out of my body. I know my entire recovering crystals. She's a singer by nature. And she said, what was really cool is this was not a throat-based yell. This was like a guttural cry. And she said the very thing that had been trapped was her voice. She would find herself in sexual encounters and be asked, do you want to do this? And she just couldn't speak. Yeah. She couldn't speak in group sex scenarios and in play spaces and with her partner even. It was like it would just freeze. And it was like everything was just reopened again. So then he held her on her side and she wept. But it didn't last forever. Then it like turned to giggles. And then it just turned to like, what was that? And like turning to him and him being like, you're amazing. And this like party atmosphere. And it was through play that she renegotiated her trauma.
Love that story.
Me too.
Wow. I mean, like I got full body chills, tears, and I always look at that as like truth as resonance in my body. I'm like, whoa.
One of my colleagues calls it an affirmation of the Holy Spirit.
Oh, yeah.
She says the Holy Spirit's like, that's true.
Truth bumps.
Like it's true if it resonates. And I will often, it's why I speak of them often, because I don't think people can see them always. And I'm like, oh no, this feels true.
I don't know. I mean, it's supposed to be 4K. But
you see our goosebumps. I just
have a feeling that they may be feeling some too.
Play is so
important.
So important.
I've actually been like toying with, oh, interesting. Yeah, this just gives me a lot to ponder. Well, one, there's just in full transparency, like there's like, oh, I want to reenact something. And so that's probably another reason why I'm like, oh,